Hey, what's going on YouTube? Marine X back at it again. These are what we're going to call a little bit of Sunday deals. I normally do this on Mondays. I'm going to be busy AF tomorrow. So I took a look at some of these deals last night. A couple of them already picked up. May I suggest that you become a channel member? These videos normally come out earlier for channel members. They get some of these deals sooner. And I've seen some comments before folks talking about like, you know, what happened to the tariffs and why are these prices still the same and why are you hawking this stuff? Listen, whenever I search for stuff for myself, if I see a good deal, why not share it with the masses? First, let's talk about a sponsor of today's video. This is Ava Pal, and this is their 6,000 amp. This is a beastly of a jump starter. Here's the thing. I have owned 4 of these, not because my first one went out or my second one was stolen or my third one kicked the bucket. None of those things happened. I love this jump starter so much that if I use it on someone else's vehicle and they also have children, it's kind of like a 2-part test, I give them the jump starter. I have purchased these on my own. This time, Ava Pal, they did a sponsor video 2 years ago, and that's the first time I got my hands on this thing. I've used it on my truck several times when my alternator was pooping the bed and the negative battery terminal on my truck was pooping the bed. I've used it on people's vehicles that have been stuck on the side of the road. I most recently gave this away to a couple who was in front of I think it was they were Jehovah's Witness. What is those buildings called? They were sitting in front of the building. I was going to talk to 7-Eleven, helped them out. So grateful. Jumped their vehicle, no issues. Jumps my vehicle, no issues. The thing about this, normally $219. If you spend $219 on this, then you are crazy. Ava Pal, I like you, but your list price is up there. Okay. 119 is a good deal. I do track this. It normally hovers around 139. So 119 is already a good deal. Then they have a 10% clickable coupon that makes this thing go down another 10%. So you're going to save at least an additional $19. That's a pretty good deal as well. This should be able to handle your 8 liters. It says 12-liter diesel. I don't know about all that. I haven't tested it on that, but it does do a few other things. A lot of these do the same, do a lot of similar features, but I like the case. It's almost blow mode. It's not really blow moded, but it's a really firm case, works really well. It actually does USB-C input charging. You can do DC 12 output. You can do USB-A output. Easy to use. I love this thing. Check it out. That's why I let them sponsor this video. Absolutely. Another one I wanted to talk about here. This is the Ogree. This is the upgraded camping fan. They're not sponsoring the video, but they did send this fan out to me. And I did want to mention that I actually use this thing quite often. They sent this thing out to me probably a month ago. They asked to sponsor video. I told them I need to test your shit out before you can sponsor a video. So I actually still haven't said yes to sponsoring. I'm just going to show the product because I kind of rock with it. I'm also going to tell you some things that I don't necessarily like about it, but I do kind of like it. So it's a little bulky. I was hoping this would be small enough to stick into my bag that I take to work and use it on the desk in the conference room. It's way too big for that. This is truly a camping fan. I've used this here in the man cave. I have used this to try to pull a cigar smoke away from me. It does that pretty well. I've also used this when barbecuing. I'll set it directly on my tabletop when I'm barbecuing, and it does create a nice little breeze. So I don't know what the normal pricing is. I've never tracked the pricing on here. It's at $53.99. If that's a deal, I guess list price seems high at $79.99, but it does have a clickable coupon that will get you down to $49.99. Just kind of tracking the pricing here. I have seen it go down. I haven't seen go down to any deal lower than $49.99. So it seems like $49.99 is the sweet spot. That's the coupon that will get you right now. It does have a 20,000 milliamp hour battery. So that is because it does do a lot of functionality. It has a light on it, and that light has a lot of different brightness levels. It has a sleep timer. It has a remote, and of course it has a fan. One thing I will say is this picture right here of the blowing wind, and this is not going to happen. No one's hair is going to blow from this wind, from this fan, unless like you're literally up on the fan. Okay. But it does create a nice breeze, especially if you're inside of a tent, especially if you're inside of an enclosed area or whatever. You can use this to charge your different devices. The only thing I wish they would have done, even if it was really crappy, if they would have given me a 10-watt speaker, really crappy speaker, just 10 watts, something enough to listen to talk radio. 10-watt speaker is going to be fine for talk radio. It's going to suck for music. If they could have gave me that, then this thing would have been over the top. But for 49 bucks, I know what more can you ask for? Before I jump into the rest of the Amazon deals, let's just talk about some deals I saw over on some stores that are not really Amazon related. Alpaca sent me an email recently. They were nervous about tariff pricings. They put a lot of stuff on outlet sales. Stuff on their outlet that I sometimes don't see them put on their outlet. And so that's what we have here. So I've seen stuff like I've seen their phone sling. I've seen the Bravo sling, the toiletry bag, but this many different versions of their Element Tech case. I haven't seen this many different versions on their outlet, and I check this pretty often. The Element Tech case is my favorite way to organize my electronics when I travel. Okay. You can get the Initech. Initech works fine. This is more aesthetically pleasing. I like the way it feels. It looks really good in a conference room, sitting there with your coworkers. It doesn't look out of place. Maybe don't get one of these wild colors, but even if you did get a wild color, I think it still would just kind of say that you're showing your personality to folks. So I think these are pretty dope. You can get the Element Tech Case Max, which is the big boy, normally 92 bucks, $59 on their outlet sale. Fits an iPad mini. I mean, they have a lot of different stuff on their outlet. I just wanted to kind of show you. I thought that these were some pretty good deals coming in from Alpaca. EcoFlow just dropped the Wave 3. This is the campsite, the portable air conditioner. It pumps out heat as well. You can get the add-on battery for $13.99, but if you get the base unit, this is a 6100 BTU cooling capacity, meaning it's going to draw between 600 watts, whether you're using it for cooling or if you're using it for heating. It's probably going to peak at like 800 watts when you first turn this bad boy on. This is perfect for cooling a tent, maybe even like pumping air into a vehicle. If you set it outside and you're sitting inside of a vehicle or whatever, and you're going to be sleeping inside of your vehicle. I have a coupon that's going to get this $50 off, making it $7.98, which is a pretty decent deal. But right now they are also giving you a free 110 watt solar panel. EcoFlow's solar panels are really good, but they are expensive. That makes this deal near $600. This is a really good deal now. If you're looking for something for the summer to cool down your vehicle when camping, cool down your camp or your deer stand, even though it's not deer season, some people do hunt turkey or whatever in the warmer months out of a deer stand, then this might be something that you want to have as well. Now, jumping back into some other deals that are more standard, EcoFlow definitely is trying to get rid of the River 2 Pro. The deal is persistent. The deal is good, and I'm going to keep telling you about it. This is the unit. I'm staring at it now. You guys can't see it, but it runs 3 of my video recorders for YouTube. It's currently running one of my computers I use to make YouTube videos. It's running a fan that I just turned off. This thing runs a lot of crap here in my YouTube studio, and I will quickly unplug this and take this with me. If we're going somewhere and we don't know what we're getting ourselves into. We're going to be going to Galveston on the family vacation in a few weeks. This is going with me. It fits really good in the back of an SUV or minivan, a truck or whatever, because you can put the back of this against the wall of that vehicle and plug stuff in front of it if you want to. The fans are on the side. You're not charging it in the vehicle anyway, unless you want to. You can charge it, but if you don't intend to charge it while it's in the vehicle, you can put it against the back wall because you do charge it from the rear. This is normally $599. The sale price is really good at $359, but they're still giving you that free item. They're still giving you that free item. If you buy any of these combos, whether it's the regular unit or any of the ones, you're going to get that free item, which is the bag for the River 2 Pro. And this is something that might be beneficial for you if you are taking it out and about instead of having to carry it by its handle, or risk any of the electronics or anything getting hit by something. You might want to grab that. Next thing here is the Cevivi Clingman. This is Taylor Martin's design for a pocket knife over there with Cevivi, best damn EDC. This came out list price $74 for some models, $71 for other models, just like in Cevivi's fashion. Like I mentioned when this came out, I know a lot of people wanted it because it was with best damn EDC and stuff like that. I did mention just wait it out. Cevivi oftentimes does knock their stuff down 10 or 15% after a while, especially when they're coming out with new models. This is one of them. I really like the way this burgundy color looks. This is the lowest price that I have seen it. It's not on a limited time deal. They didn't pay that extra money to Amazon to get that, but I have been following this. It has a good pocket clip. I don't like the way it looks. Like, I actually am not aesthetically drawn to the Clingman, but it feels really, really good in the hand. And if you use that front flipper, if you use that thumb stud, it feels great for those utility cuts. I don't think you're going to be disappointed in the feel. So if you're already down with the look, I'm telling you from personal experience, it also feels really good as well. You're going to be saving 15% off depending on what color you get. If you get the one that's more of like this burlap looking color, like a brown looking color, then it's going to be 15% off also, but the starting price was a little bit higher. This is a tactical car seat back organizer. It comes with all these tactical things on here. You can reorganize these as you see fit, or if you want to, you can just use your own item. So it straps onto the back of your seat, and then it has 5 detachable MOLLE pouches. But one thing that you might want to use this for, your kids' entertainment stuff. Maybe you want to keep your Bible or your religious book in there. Maybe you want to keep some wet wipes in there. And also maybe you want to keep your trauma kit. If you're going to keep a trauma kit, I did a video on that a couple of weeks ago. Maybe this is the unit that you use to keep your trauma kit. Normally $85.99. No one's paying that. Okay. It does normally hover around $63. Right now it is at $45.99, 47% off. It has a clickable coupon that will get you an additional 8% off. That's a pretty good deal. If you're looking for more organization, you don't want to pay those Built Right industry prices, which are pricey, and you don't get any pouches, then this might be a budget solution for you. This is the MTAC. This is a tactical drop down utility pouch. You may want to get something like this that's a little bit more discreet. This can go in your plate carrier. You can also outfit this to go onto one of those tactical backseat holders I just showed you. But I was looking at this, quite frankly, to possibly put on the front of my plate carrier for when I go rucking, or if I'm outfitting different things. Maybe you have it, you want to wear it however. You can wear this in different ways, but it is quick access to tourniquet on the very bottom. It does have the laser cut MOLLE on the front. It has hook and loop, so you can attach patches or whatever identification to the front of it. 500D Cordura. Normally $39.99. It is currently $27.96. I think this might be something else that might be dope to keep onto the rear of your vehicle for a kit, if you can find out different ways to outfit it. So that's a decent price as well. We also have the Powerbuilt Stubby Ratchet. This is a 1/4 ratchet. It is a quick release ratchet rather. I like keeping these on hand for when I'm taking apart multi-tools, or if I'm tinkering with stuff that calls for a 1/4 bit, but instead of using a screwdriver, I could use a ratchet, and that comes in handy so much. One side can receive a 1/4 socket. The other side can receive a 1/4 bit. This is a very good tool. It's only 12% off, but I've owned this thing for almost a year, and I find use cases for it all the time. I think you could figure out ways to use it as well, a part of your EDC. Now, the Nycore EDC35. I like the 31 more. It's smaller, but the 35 arguably has a bigger battery. I showed this a couple of weeks ago. I don't know why Nycore is still pushing this one, because the 33 exists, the 31 exists. But this is a good flashlight, especially to go on the front of a plate carrier. If you wanted to put it on the shoulder strap of a bag, great for some of those utility uses. The only issue I have with it is the battery's not removable. So you're going to want to make sure that you are checking the charge rate on this. The knurling is really, really good. It's ribbed for her pleasure. It is easy to keep this in your hand. You're not going to be dropping this very easily. Also does have a locking feature, so you won't accidentally turn this on if you're fidgeting around with your plate carrier, fidgeting around with your bag or anything like that. So you can get 90 hours of use if you use this on a low setting. It has 5,000 lumens, multiple mode. I don't know if this one has a momentary switch. I can't remember. That's one thing I can't remember if it has a momentary switch, but 600 yards of distance. I think it's a really good, easy buy. Next here is the Knife Duron. This one just came out less than a month ago. And the thing about the Olight, or the Knife Duron, it's made by Olight. It's their sister company. I think it's the world first aluminum frame lock. I still don't know if anybody else has came out with anything like this. It's rocking a Nitro V blade still. It is coated. It is thumb studs. It is, I'm not sure how you would work a ambidextrous frame lock, but they do have holes on the other side to change the pocket clip. I guess if you're left-handed, you figure out how to close a frame lock with your other hand. But I think it looks pretty good. I don't like the big logo on the pocket clip. But for $89.99, this is the lowest price in 30 days. It's less than 30 days old. It did come out at list price. I'm waiting to see if they come out with more color variants. I don't like the way this color looks, but if you like the way it looks, then snatch it up at that price. The OIT iMini 2. Now, a lot of people like the iMini 2. I saw Barbarian Brawny talking about it on one of his live streams. I saw other folks say that they have this thing, and I guess it's a really small, portable, actual light that you can put on your keychain. So that might be actually something that might be beneficial for you. It has a magnetic base. That's something that my Tiny 3 doesn't have by Nycore. So that might be something that if you need to use it in a pinch and it needs to be a second set of eyes or illuminate something for you, the magnetic base might be handy. So it also has an integrated USB plug, so you can just charge it with your computer. The only thing I would say about this is it looks like it's USB-A. So I don't know how many of us have like USB-A. I don't have USB-A on my computer. I do have USB-A all around the man cave for charging purposes, but that's a smart feature, I guess, if you don't have your plug, if you don't have the cord with you or whatever. That's a good way to just get a quick charge and kind of be able to rock and roll. Normally $19.99, 30% off makes this thing $13.99. That's for every single color. I would probably get the OD green if it were but it's going to be up to you. Lanyard beads. Okay, I'm not a big fan of lanyard beads, but they do have their utility, especially when you're looking at Aries. Okay, these work well if you have a small fixie, which I've been carrying lately, and the fixie is kind of like a 2-finger or 3-finger fixie. You're going to add a nooseman's hangman knot on there, and you may want to add a lanyard to it. Here you go. Get yourself a lanyard. You can get yourself your bead here. Normally $9.85. This thing is $4.92. That's a pretty good deal. I just saw this recently popped up. It doesn't even have any reviews yet, so it's relatively new. So this thing is made of casted copper. I don't know what casted copper means. I don't know if that's steel with copper on top or if it's just like a whole piece of copper. But if it is, it's going to patina. The only issue I have is that it says copper in the description. And then when I come here and I hover over the pictures, it says brass. Your mileage may vary. Buy at your own risk. I'm just telling you, the consistency with the description does matter. All right. Next one here is, this is another bead, but this one here is kind of like a tactical looking skull, but it does have a cross on it. I thought this looked pretty dope. So it fits 550 core. It will also fit through a leather hangman noose, depending on how you do it. You might just kind of squeeze it through there, pull it through with some tweezers or whatever. Normally $9.58, it is $4.79, 50% off. That's a pretty good deal as well. I don't know what the base material for this is. It says brass. Maybe they just don't change their pictures very often, but it looks more like it could be nickel or stainless steel. But I would kind of let you check that out as well. The Initech Sling Bag X. This is a 4-liter bag. It's going to be good to fit your iPad minis. Take your kit for the day. This is a decent chest bag on a budget. Okay, I love the chest bags that are coming from eBay stock. Those are $79.99. I'm loving the chest bags that come from Tom Talk. Those range between $40 and $56. This is an Initech Sling Bag that was sent to me 2 years ago. I did a video. They didn't even know I was going to do a video. I tested it and I liked it. When they sent it to me, it was in black. It has since become so popular, they have dropped it in all sorts of colors. If I could do it all over again, I would have it in olive, or I would have it in beige and probably give it to my teenage daughter or give her the pink one. I think this thing works well. It's not doing the most. It kind of just gets the job done. It's decent for travel. $46.99 is the normal price. The color, if you want any of the colors, the $37.59 is 20% off. If you want to get the black version, it's even cheaper at $35.24. This works well. You want to stick an iPad mini in there, a power bank, maybe a bigger flashlight. You're going to be in board shorts. You're going to be in some basketball shorts or whatever. This does work well for all of that type of stuff. The OIT Baton Pro. It's not listed as a limited time deal, but this 20% off is a deal. It hasn't been 20% off in a couple of weeks. Okay, so it does drop down to $47.99, normally $59.99. But if you want something that has a little bit more output than Baton 4, then this is your go-to. This is going to be 1,000 lumens, 510 meter throw, a very good throw for a 1,000 lumen flashlight. Good candela on this as well. OD green is the one I would go with. It does have dual source. I know you can take the battery out and swap it if you need to. It's just really good. Only issue I have with it, and that's what I mentioned earlier, 65,000 candela in this little flashlight. I think it's a really good emitter. That's why it's getting that beam distance. I really like it. The only issue I have with this flashlight is it is using OIT's proprietary charger, but you can swap the batteries out in a pinch. You can get some more from OIT's, and that way you can swap it out if you need to for whatever reason. Or you can also use a dual fuel. It just won't get the same amount of power if you don't use OIT's battery. But if you need to swap another battery in there, you can. You can't do that with some of their other flashlights, so I like that. This is the Wuben F5. The Wuben F5, you may not be able to see it, but kind of right behind me, right above those keyboards to the right next to that green light, that's the Wuben F5. It's sticking on my magnetic little pegboard back there. I use the Wuben F5 all the time. This thing is great if you're just running out the house, you're taking your kids with you in the evening time. You can use it to help load them into the vehicle, help get groceries out the vehicle. If you're going to be going to someone's house at night, chilling out, smoking a cigar, it's great for ambient lighting, but it's also good for emergency use cases. If the power goes out, I usually will grab that, and that's the first thing I do when I start walking around the house, so I can look for my more traditional flashlights, the flashlights that point forward, right? This is a big floodlight, but normally $49.99. I normally don't talk about this unless it drops. The normal sale price on this is $36 bucks. Okay, this is at $29.59. It's not a big savings, but this is where I normally would like to talk about the flashlight itself. I bought this flashlight. Wuben didn't send me this one specifically. They've sent me a lot of stuff in the past, but they didn't send this one to me. It also will charge other devices, so you can use the ports on the side to charge devices if you need to. Not quite sure. I've never actually done that. I've never used it to charge other devices, but it does have different light modes. It has a warm light at 3000 Kelvin, natural 3500 Kelvin, and a cool at 5700 Kelvin. And it has a ring on the back, so you can hang it from different crap. And as I mentioned, that ring is also magnetized, so you can use it as a magnet and stick it on stuff. This is a really good functional floodlight. Then we have this. Okay, I saw Neve's Knives talking about the Finto, or whatever this knife brand is. He showcased them a little bit. This company has reached out to me before. I thought they were a no-name company. They are. It's a Chinese no-name company, but they're buying decent steel. Neve seemed to be satisfied with their heat treatment. He wasn't just his pants weren't knocked off. They're claiming you can get 65 HRC. That's not anything he got in his testing. He didn't test this knife though. But I don't think you're going to get 14C 28N. I don't think their heat treatment is going to get you 62 HRC. So I wouldn't buy it for that. They do say it hardness up to 62. Okay. If you're looking for some good blade steels, he's decent heat treatment, 14C 28N, 3.3-inch blade, G10 scales. It has a fuller, looks like. Or I know it definitely has a thumb hole, but it looks like it has a fuller, so you can use it to flip it open. It has a flipper as well. A decent looking pocket clip that actually contours with the scales themselves. It's not ambidextrous, which I think makes it aesthetically look a little bit better. Very muted logo with that letter F is just very, very muted. I think that's pretty decent. 42.63 is 48% off. It does normally hover around 60 bucks. So it never sits at $81, but so you're actually saving about $18 from the price they normally list this thing at. That's a buy it now price. If you want to try it out, I think I would give it a go with that price. Next here, I do have my Schwarma, okay, or whatever the hell they call these things, but we call them Haji rags. I don't know if you're supposed to call them that anymore. I bought this thing years ago. This is what I use when I go rucking and it's hot outside. I will put this around my neck. Or sometimes I would even cover my face. If I want to go rucking, if I want to go out, I wear longer sleeves, but I need to protect my face and it's hard for me to wear a hat because I have locks. This is my go-to. Normally $11.99, 10% off, 10.97, but they have a whole lot of colors. Years ago, I bought it in the Black Skull version. But I mean, if you're looking to get yourself something as a good protection type of thing, this works well, and they have a lot of different colors. I don't know if I would get one with an AR on it. Looks a little bit terrorist-like, but you do you, man. You do you. The Kershaw Highball XL. $56.52. This is the lowest price that I have seen in a few weeks. It does normally hover around the $73 mark, so it has dropped down to $56. Why? I don't know. I've been looking at this because I've been trying to find different knife options that have that fuller feature, which lets you open it without having to spend the big bucks on like a CRK T770, which is going to cost you $200 or $195 for different versions. So if you want to see how do I feel about using that type of opening mechanism on a knife, this is kind of something I saw. It also has a frame lock. So it's D2 steel, but it has some unique features. I like the way the coloring of the pivot. I like the way the scales look. It is a frame lock. This might be something that you may want to check out as well. So this is going to be, let's see, D2. Yeah, I think this is something I will go with. So check that out. See if that's something that you might want to check out. This is the Gerber Gear Lockdown Pry. Now, I did a review on the Gerber Gear Lockdown Drive, and the drive is beneficial if you have 1/4 bits that you need to use quite often. Okay, it's okay-ish. But the pry might be something that you want to, if you need to scrape up wax off a table or quickly scrape up epoxy before it dries or some adhesive or whatever. This might be something you keep in your pocket. The scissors on the lockdowns are not that great. At least my pair weren't. Maybe they've gotten better over the years. I like the file a lot. The file is useful for a metal and a wood file. And I like the interchangeable X-Acto blades. So that's actually really nice to be able to open packages, gunk up this knife, just buy another one, throw it away. This is the lowest price in 30 days, normally $60. It normally hovers around $45, $32.08, 47% off is a buy it now price. It's a 10-in-1 tool, so that might be something you may want to consider. The Leatherman Free P4. This is not on sale. I just wanted to show it to you because it comes on Amazon, leaves Amazon, comes back to Amazon, leaves Amazon. This tool is no longer being produced by Leatherman, at least I don't see it on their website. Max Level EDC did a video about it. I checked their website. It's not there. The Free P2 does the same thing. It comes to Amazon. It goes away. So I think as Amazon goes through their stock, you see it shipped from Amazon. So this is stored in an Amazon warehouse somewhere. I think that as they go through that stock, it dwindles down. Soon you won't be able to get a Leatherman Free P4. So if you want to get yourself one, I love this multi-tool. You will not miss having a bit driver because of some of the features. You see this Phillips driver here? This long, slender Phillips driver is so beneficial when you need to get deep inside of a well of a toy or a remote or whatever. Sometimes the screw is deep down in the well of something, and Leatherman's bits, unless you have the extended driver, they can't get in there. This can. This exists on the Wingman. It exists on the Free P4. I think it also exists on, don't misquote me. I know it's on this one because I have it. This multi-tool is made in the USA. It doesn't have the Magna Cut like its big brother, the Arc, but you won't miss it unless you use this primarily as a pocket knife, which most people won't do. The scissors on here are good as well. Last but not least, this is a no-name brand toiletry bag. Okay, QT and QY, no one cares about the brand. But I will say this, I bought it yesterday, and I bought it because I went on a couple of work trips recently, and I had one of those unfold, roll out, humongous toiletry bags where you can see everything and blah, blah, blah. What I've noticed is I don't work out of a toiletry bag. I work from a toiletry bag. Meaning if you're the type of person that needs to hang your toiletry bag up, you need to see your aftershave, you need to see your razor, you need to see that shit and then work out of the bag, meaning you pull shit, use it, put it back in the bag. this is not for you. But I am not. I like to get to a hotel and just dump all my shit neatly on the counter. And because I dump all my shit neatly on the counter, I want it to be small and compact as I get there. So this is okay with me. I realize that I need a DOP kit that is okay with me, but I don't want to spend a ton of money on it because I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to love it. So I didn't want to spend a ton of money on something from like Alpaca, which would only be like $30, or something from Nutsack, or something from Brown Buffalo, which is theirs was $65. I found this one. It's $19.99, but I have a coupon that gets it for $10. I have a coupon that gets you $10 off. I bought it. It should be here today. I'll see if I'll have initial impressions when I get it here in the man cave, but I have a work trip coming up early next month. I'm going to Ohio, and that's going to be where I can know if I'm going to love it. It's almost multi-cam black. They don't advertise it in multi-cam black, but if you show something in that color, then you've basically snatched the soul out of my body. So that's an easy win for them. I've helped you out quite a bit today. You should thank me down below with a super thanks. You don't have to do that though. You don't have to do that. Just hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, consider becoming a channel member because they saw this video before the rest of everyone else, and they may have gotten some of these deals and they may no longer be available. I can't control the pricing, and I don't control when the deals go away. And I'm showing you shit that I would buy or I own. The very beginning of the video is sponsors. Okay, I like to be transparent about that. But then as we go through the rest of it, I'm showing you stuff I like. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grade. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.